when I scream like a little girl and pee myself. Go back with the glove.
These shock gloves may soon be used by immigration and customs enforcement agents. ICE is planning to spend between $10 and $20 million to purchase the devices known as CTG5GLOVE, which stands for Generated Low Output Voltage Emitter, according to a notice published by the Department of Homeland Security. In example videos posted by the device manufacturer, Compliant Technologies, most individuals are seen falling to their knees after being touched with the gloves. The company markets the glove as a wearable de-escalation device that can be shifted into electrical mode, delivering a maximum voltage of up to 380 volts that, quote, distracts the subject from performing coordinated muscle movement. The manual states that no more than 2 gloves should be applied to a subject at one time and should not be used for more than 15 seconds in many instances. The company also warns the gloves should not be used as punishment or on high-risk individuals, including those who are pregnant, elderly, severely disabled, or children. The notice comes as ICE faces scrutiny over what critics say are aggressive and dangerous tactics, amid pressure from the Trump administration to make around 2,000 arrests daily. The devices would be delivered by March 2027, according to DHS. CNN has reached out to DHS and Compliant Technologies for comment, but has not received a response.
I don't know when these Maga supporters are going to stop crying, because at this point you should, just stay where you are, feel the consequences of what you did, and after feeling that consequences, make sure that you don't do the bad choice again in the future. This is the things that you elected. The people who are doing this to you are the very same person you were saying we're going to make America great again. And look at what they're doing. 20 million, staggering of 20 million US taxpayer money is going to be, contributed to even deporting more people. And you've seen the impacts, the consequences of deportation of these people. These people are illegally staying in USA. There is a problem, of course, I understand, but there is also another thing you cannot take away from this story. What they are contributing inside the USA itself. That is also something you have to consider. So do you think deporting them is the only way that is possible? Those who commit crimes, I do not agree with them. They have to be chased out from the country. But how about those who are safely staying in USA even if they are illegal? There is a way, there is a process you can pass through them and make them legal and continue to contribute in the US economy. As you know, when you make bad choice, you don't go away from the consequences of those choices. It's better to stand still and face them, face the consequences, and learn a lesson of not doing the bad choice again. I know that movement of making America great again is a great movement, but again, how do you put in action, or what do you do to put in action the definition of that simple 4-word phrase, MAGA? Do you think the very simplest way of making America great again is to spend 20 million US citizen taxpayer money, and you buy Glooves that is going to contribute to deporting many people, which is already causing drought and many problems to American farmers and American business persons? I don't think so. That's why people should start to learn one lesson here. The very choices of electing leaders, of choosing people who are going to lead them, should be taken with a very conscious mind. You should be careful in choosing the leaders you are making, or at least if you're not careful, you should be able to face the consequences of what is going to come from your leadership that you elected, that you put on a position to lead you. As you're watching this video, I know you have a lot of ideas, and I am asking you to put that in the comment section because I review them. Like this video if you find it to be interesting, and remember to subscribe on this YouTube channel because it helps me a lot. Let's meet in the next video, which is coming very soon.
ICE agents in America are getting a shocking new device to help them to control detainees. Special gloves that can deliver painful electric shocks that will subdue individuals in less than 3 seconds. They look like ordinary gloves, but once they're switched to electrical mode, they can deliver up to 380 volts, which, according to the manufacturer, can stop people being able to perform coordinated muscle movements. ICE is planning to spend $20 million on the gloves, which are due to arrive by March next year. Many ICE officers, though, have already faced intense criticism for their use of force when dealing with detainees and protesters across the country as they've been enforcing the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Civil liberties activists are warning that giving ICE agents a concealed method to deliver terrible pain is a recipe for more public harm and less accountability. While the Department of Homeland Security says their agents are targeting the worst of the worst and already facing a 1,300% increase in assaults.
ICE officers are getting body cameras, and soon enough, they could have taser gloves.
They're reviewing right now the RFP.
That was New York's Attorney General. She and the governor weighed in on this. They suggested that this could be an abuse of power.
Of course, we are outraged. And in the event that a New Yorker is injured as a result of these gloves, obviously there will be a private right of action as well as action from the state of New York.
We got a statement from DHS. They did not confirm or deny that this is going to happen. They're reacting to a report from the Associated Press that says that the federal government may be willing to spend up to $20 million. They're going to put out an RFP for that. That is the report. We did get a statement from DHS, as I mentioned. Here it is. You can see it on your screen. They say that they heavily invest in tools, everything that its officers could need to make arrests and remove those who are illegally here in this country. Something else that came up was a discussion about some other immigration changes. The federal government is pulling back the amount of funds that it issues for unaccompanied minors to get legal representation here in the United States. New York State and New York City are going to work together to pull together additional resources for the children, but they are calling on the Trump administration to reverse course and give this money back to these organizations so that they can represent those children.
Or exciting news today on the home front of the United States. ICE is planning on spending $20 million of our taxpayer money on gloves that shock people. Shocking, right? And these are allegedly supposed to be all rolled out by March of next year. All I'm saying is that this is going to be used against them so much. These buffoons are already so untrained and uncoordinated that they're going to end up shocking each other or themselves. So if they're going to start using these as weapons, civilians are going to start getting crafty. I don't know about you, but I feel like carrying a water bottle around by next March might be a good idea. So remember, when someone says the government would never do something like that, yes, the fuck they would. It's about control. They never cared about you. They're not looking to make the world a safer place. Because the amount of incidents we've had where ICE goes after the wrong person or kills the wrong person is far too much to have these shocking gloves come out of the woodwork. This will not end well. Mark my words.
There's no money for healthcare, but there is $20 million for the loser-ass violent pieces of shit in ICE so they can get these little devices known as gloves, which stands for Generated Low Output Voltage Emitter. Gloves that shock people. That's what they are. Gloves that shock people. They are detaining and racially profiling in the process. And they're spending this money knowing that it's going to be misused by some. If you look for this AP News, let me go back to the headline. If you look for this headline, you'll come across this article. But in the article, they said they know it'll be misused by some officers like most of these technologies are. So yeah, no money for anything else except for war and for ICE.
Confirmed. ICE is spending $20 million for shock gloves. They emit electric jolts. They're considered distraction and de-escalation devices designed to better protect officers. The goal is to better control combative people. Now, Department of Homeland Security says it hopes to have these in March so that ICE can use them for immigration operations. They're called CTG-5 gloves. That stands for Generated Low Output Voltage Emitter. They're already used in some prisons around the United States. But critics, like the ACLU, say that ICE has a history of excessive force or jumping to force too soon. Remember the deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Good in Minneapolis earlier this year. They also point out that there's concern about whether someone has a health condition. Maybe they have a heart condition. And if they are shocked, that could potentially lead to a heart attack. What are your thoughts on these gloves?
If you think that people deported were enough, wait a second, because there is new gloves that is being given to IC agents. And these gloves, they really deliver a very painful electric shock. This could increase the number of people who are going to be deported in a very coming few days to come. So there's this idea. People are already claiming that the deportation of the people without having the other people, be it American citizen or, legally staying foreigners in USA, is causing a lot of problems. So if you are deporting people without planning who are going to replace what they were contributing to this very same country, so what are you actually doing? Because this is both hurting the people that these, deported people were serving. If a person was harvesting some, crops in their farmlands, and that very same person is being deported, and you don't find another person to replace that person you deported, this means that the work that person was doing doesn't have anyone to do. So what happens is that if that person was serving 100 people per day, according to what he or she harvested, those 100 people are gonna paid by who? None. So, and now you are making the problem even more bigger, because the already deportation of illegal immigrants, that you can, process them and make them legal to stay in USA. And then these people you are deporting without having people to replace them, and now you bring the Glooves, which increase, of course, the number of people who are going to be deported. I think sooner or later, this might be even a bigger problem. A lot of people might be deported by the support of these electrical shock Glooves that deliver this painful electric shock. So let's watch the videos of people claiming the effects that this is going to have on number of people who are going to be deported. And I'm going to be right back with my final commentaries. As you're watching, make sure that you drop your ideas in the comment section, like this video. If you have not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, remember to do so. Let's watch the whole video.